Good morning everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you have had a lovely few days. We haven't seen honey bear hearts for a few days. So I thought today we might continue working on one of these other little hearts. That one I was really happy with and is finished. And I was just sat down to have a look at some of these elements and I thought maybe I could work into the heart some crocheting. So I'm just going to disconnect this little piece. There's probably pieces already disconnected somewhere, but that for some reason caught my eye. And this little one, we still have a whole side. So first of all, we might knock that back. Let me just grab a piece of calico. I'm just going to knock that blue back a bit. I don't want to lose that. I might just snip off my invisible stitch here. Like usual, you have the best laid plans and then you go, oh, I'm going to do this. And that's why invisible stitch is really good, just to tack your elements down until you're ready. Hello, Fudge. Fudgy just come into the room. Until you're really ready to what am I trying to say? Till you're ready to finalise your design. So I'm just wondering, can I take advantage of the curve that's in this? I'd say I can. So let's get, what do I do with the needle? There we go. Let's just get this stitched down. I'll leave this up because I might want to put that under it like I just did with the calico. So I'm thinking along the lines of getting that layer done first. It's good I've had a few days just to think about the little hearts, because otherwise I probably would have done something very similar again. So having a bit of a break between them is a good idea. Gives your mind a chance to have a little rest, and then when you sit down you find, oh, I want to do something different. So that now is at least secure. I'll leave that needle and thread at the back, and I might trim very carefully down this. So I've got my shape back. Then I'll see if I can manipulate that crocheted piece into it. So I like this edge. I like that shape, but I also want that to be across it. And I think with a few little random stitches, I think I can get what I need out of that. All right, so let's get rid of the bulk that is under that. Let's get rid of that. That then will come down over it. Now, how much do we take off that? I'm thinking we're going to trim that back a little bit. As much as I like that little edge, I don't think it's doing me any favours. I can get rid of some more bulk. Sort of a case of just see what you can do. Bit by bit, it'll come together. I'm thinking I need to get rid of that bulk there. This little hump here is not helping my design. And I think I can get rid of that one. Yeah, that'll help the heart come down. I can get rid of that bulk. Might soften the edge of that. What does that look like if that went like that? No, it sort of overpowers it. I want the crochet piece to be pushed back a bit. I think I can come around there to get that shape right. And I think if I trim that little bit off there, I can get that. Yeah, that's good. I like that. So what I might do is I'm going to get this piece of lace stitched into the center here. It's not lace, it's a crochet element. It's the corner of a tablecloth. I can see they would have come along the straight edge. Now I might try and get the little scallops up past the heart just to exaggerate that edge. So they've come across the edge of the crocheted mat, and then they've done a corner and used this little curved motif to get themselves around that corner. And that's the bit I'm utilising for my little scrappy heart for Honey Bear's dress. It's like Honey Bear has gathered all these little scrappy bits and now she's getting it added to the dress. That's good. Help if I stitched into the back of the heart and not into the mid-air. Yeah, that's made that heart look a little bit more random by bringing the edge of the scallop up past the little quilted heart. So cute. This one's come together nicely. Now what I will do is I think I might rough up this edge a little bit and lose that, because I got plenty of little motif behind, so I can play a little bit with that straight line. I'll keep it true to the edge of the heart, so I might just come on, Reg. Oh, this is not even Reg. So I'm going to just stitch along that top edge, because that then will make sure I keep my perimeter. I need some more thread. It's getting too small. And I'm concentrating on my stitching and not the placement of my fingers on the needle, therefore I pull it through. Just to get a couple more stitches, then I can end that off. That's okay. Let's end that off. So what I'm thinking is very carefully, oh, I've got bits everywhere. There we go. Is fraying up this corner, this edge, just so that it's not so straight. I just want it to be a little bit more messy. It's a beautiful linen, so I've got the opportunity then of seeing scraggly linen-y bits just to make it feel a little bit more scrappy. That's it. Oh, I love how they construct fabric and you see your web and your warp threads all in there. And they've used two different colours. There's like the taupey colour and then a cream underneath it, which gives it that softness. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Just makes it feel a little bit more, I don't know, honey bear scrappy. Okay, now what else can we add to our little heart? What other little bits have we got tucked away here? Do we do some more lace over here? Or I'm thinking a word. A tiny word. Have I got any tiny words? Nothing comes to mind. Sort of feel like that's a spot for a feature. What if we haven't used this guy? You know, didn't we do something with that? Yeah, see that? What if, I don't think we want to do those again. What if we add a couple little flowers? Let's have a little look at some of these cut out. That gives us that consistency. And these are nice and neutral, so they could potentially blend in really well or not, or too much. I don't mind that. Let's get another one. Are there any others before I go chopping? Look at these on this one. Look at that little lot. I could do that there on that. Like really create a little cluster of flowers. Are there any close to the edge? Or am I going to have to destroy this piece of fabric to get to them? Oh, please be on the edge somewhere. There's 1, 2. Come on. Don't tell me that's the only 2 spots for that whole. Such pretty. There's another one there. Okay, so now I'm seeing the pattern. One there, one there, one there, one there. Oh, I think they are literally right on this edge, but that's them there off the edge there and there. Oh my goodness. Look away if you're thinking I'm a crazy girl for doing this, but this is collaging to its T. I definitely buy fabrics to suit what I'm doing. And sometimes you just see the perfect pieces of fabric and you just have to. So we've gone off on a tangent here. This little element is going to be on there in some embellished, it's nearly like a brooch. Okay, back to the task at hand. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm just going to cut this little guy out as well. And just fussy cut around the little flower. Could do with like a tiny little something just to lift it. Let's go back to this poor piece of fabric that I'm hacking into already. Let's go back to where I cut in. Is there something small? Those little guys there. Is See, it won't be so bad. Once I chop a heap of this out, it's a nice scrap for a rainy day. These little guys might be just the little morsel I need, and it's sort of dragging the story through a couple hearts. I'm thinking, see, the girl can justify her behaviour, no problems. So we've got two little ones there. Still feel like we need something else. Little collage of things, maybe just the one little flower. Maybe I tuck that under there. So we need more. We need more. And the other thing we can do, oh, I know, hold it. We can go back to this little guy and see what we can bring out of this, which then ties in that. So I'm going to have a look at these leaves. I feel like we need some leaves. Spread that out a little bit of air there. Tuck that into there. What else have we got? Here's a little itty bitty flower. And it's got two leaves attached, so maybe we can use them as well. Let's get little itty bitty flower in there. Maybe we can get those leaves up there. You can't really see them, but it does add detail. So there we go. We've got a little collaged base. We'll see how we go from there. We'll get this stitch down before it becomes a... Where's Reg gone? Has Reg come out yet? There he is. Okay. Now, this will be tricky because at the moment I pick it up, that's upside down. I'm going to have that coming off the heart a little bit. See, we went off the heart up here. I'm just very carefully going to try, my pronunciation of some words is just horrific. I'm just going to try and drop a little tacking stitch in the center of each flower before everything just falls off. Okay. Oh, that's such tight lace. And then this guy here, so that's pretty good. I like that. Gosh, you can just do so much with fabric. If you get a really good floral fabric, it's the gift that keeps giving. There we go. Another nice little heart for Honey Bear's dress. Okay, so everything is now held. So now we can have a look at what we can do to jazz it up. I think before I go too far, where's the little, these? Remember we put one over here. I do want to try and create a bit of a story because they are a set. And maybe look at getting one of those in sooner rather than later. Yeah, up the top there. Just tucking it in to get a little bit of consistency in our design. Heaven forbid. Let's get this little guy in. Try and start with your bigger elements first and then get them a little spot. Now I haven't edged this yet in a whip stitch, so that's another thing I need to do. Okay, so I'm now up into the center of this flower, and I'm thinking I'll put a pearl in there because Honey Bear likes her pearls. So let's come up through the center. I did grab some out right at the very beginning. That's a bit big. I think we need to go further afoot to find pearls for Honey Bear. Are there any in here already? I sort of feel like I need a soft creamy pearl. They're all very white pearl. Just bear with me, guys, as I have a little rummage. Got some pinky pearls. No. Nope, nope. Gosh, when you start analysing colours of pearls, a lot of my pearls are ones that I've scavenged. Yeah, here we go. Exciting TV for you guys. That or that. See how they got more of a, like a, they're too big, but they're good. More of a dirty pearl. Creamy without being too, I think these will be just what we need, yeah. Just a little bit of a pearl for our Honey Bear. That'll tie in that little piece too. Might find too that we then revisit previous hearts, especially if a new element comes in. You know, you might find that you go back to your original couple hearts and do a little bit more work on them. Especially if you're creating a set. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to this piece, this side. I'm going to put another pearl in. But I feel like I need to do something through the center there. I might just put my nose back in that box of pearls there and see if I can find a smaller version, or at least, actually there might be one. See, they're very white. Isn't it amazing the difference in colours? Anyway, small things amuse. Okay, so I feel like I need something in there. Okay, all right. Thinking, do we bring in a couple of our little flowers for that consistency? And I agree with myself. And I'm just going to pop a couple through the center where all of these little elements meet. That'll sort of link it, I think. Yeah, I like that. Sort of feels like I'm telling a story now. Does that make sense? Now I might pop a little gold one in there as well, because that's all part of this selection of colours I really should have done the outside edge as well. Like, oh, but you know how I roll. Put everything in the wrong order, but it just comes together. Makes it more fun. Mix it up a little bit. I'm not going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to do the center of this guy first. I need to get another piece of cotton. Someone needs to invent a needle that doesn't unthread and it's connected to your reel of cotton. Come on, smart people. It's connected to this, so it consistently feeds off. It is, physics will not allow my idea to happen. But it's connected to a reel of cotton that constantly feeds, so we never have to rethread. It doesn't fall out of the end of the needle, so we don't have to rethread. It just keeps going. I think they call that a sewing machine, actually. Yeah, it has been invented. But we need a hand-stitched version of... Can I get this last bead onto that flower, and then I can get a new piece of cotton. I feel like I need another one of those little pearly flowers on this piece, just to add a little bit of interest. So let's end this off before it unthreads. Too late. So I hope you're all sitting and stitching. I hope some great ideas came to you with this new prompt, love. I'm seeing some great photos pop up already, which is good. Everyone's off and racing. Oops. Got a hang of a mess here. Got so much stuff surrounding me here that I feel like I'm going to knock these beads and you're going to see a cascade of beads. So I just want to grab this again. I just feel like I could do a little bit more. Some single ones here. Yep. Oh my goodness, I got now threads caught up in my scissors. Oh, a messy girl today. Messy girl. Nothing's organised. Just mess. I feel like I could tuck in another one of those. We're going to do it. There we go. So let me know in the comments if you did the scrappy heart and how many did you make and how many are going on your project and how many are you squirreling away for a rainy day. I know after my last video, if only I could visit my last video, a few of you made comments along that line of, I might just make a heap of scrappy hearts. And then as birthdays for friends or happy mail presents itself, scrappy heart appears. Now I think I'm going to bring in another one of these. Little floral sequins. They are so cute. I need to go and revisit the sequin. Oh, what was the name of them? Sequin House. Gosh, what was the name of that business? I haven't been there for over 12 months. and they specialise in nothing but sequins. I believe they were on Etsy. I'll link the product review I did video down below, because I'd love to get some more of these little flowers if they're still there, in other colours, because they're just handy. I'd love some little soft pink ones. Or hello, Fudge. How are you, Fudge? Oh boy, there's a cat potentially going to come through. Hi, Fudgy. Push, push. Hey. He's getting ready to pounce. One needs to tidy up. Hey, Fudgy. Come in. There we go. Fudgy hasn't been here for a little while. Hey, Fudge. Fudge has had a heap of dental work done. So he's been a little bit off, but he's good. He's really good. For a 17-year-old cat, he is a very, very healthy boy. We thought he was, you know, so-so because, don't wiggle, Fudge. I'm holding him and he wants to walk forward, but there's like challenges on the way that he does not need a paw on. So, yeah, as you know, we lost Casper. They were first cousins, same age. And Casper was always the, you know, plump, fat, well, not fat, but healthy cat, we thought. It turned out he had a heart problem, and that was what took him out. And Fudgy's always been that skinny, lean cat, does a lot of walking, paces, very active. And we thought, oh, you know, let's get a bit of a Fudgy face here for you. Hey, Fudge. I'm flipping him up. He's still got his shaved paws from his dental work. Hey, Fudgy. Yeah, we always thought Fudge was the skinny, potentially had some kidney issues, but when he went in to have a tooth removed, they did his blood work and he is perfect health. We were sure he had kidney disease coming, very early kidney disease. And look at him, he's just absorbing that. But he is as fit as a Mallee bull. Look, he's completely mellowed out. You see where they shaved his little paw. He's still got a pain relief patch on his heel. So, but he's pretty good. He's eating, drinking, he's doing everything he should do. And this morning he was very mau-mau-y. And he's actually come for a visit. So that tells me he is feeling great. So, all right, Fudge, this is not about you. Let's put Fudgy back down on the carpet. There we go. That's a boy. He's come for a bit of mama love. So that's Fudgy's latest. I'm not sure when this video will air and if it makes sense, because I'm sure I mentioned that Fudgy needed some dental work. So I'm going to assume that you've already seen that video. And my worries, because I was sure the dentist would say that cat has poor kidney function, therefore dental work is not going to be recommended. And being that he's 17, I knew what was going to be recommended. But happy days. Fudgy has had his surgery. He's as healthy as a 17-year-old cat could wish to be, bar some dodgy teeth. And it's funny, like I said to the vet, the cat has had lots of bones. He's eaten chicken necks and, you know, whatever we can to try and keep dental health. He's had regular cleans, but it's still dental issues have arisen for him. And the vet said that they have seen more and more dental issues than 20 years ago in our pets. And I said, well, it has to be the food. There must be sugar, for want of a better word, who knows, or glucose, in their food, because something's going on. Compared to cats of yesteryear, do they make the food taste good by adding something that then gives them dental issues? I don't know. Something's going on. Don't get me started on the pet food industry and what they're feeding our beloved furry pussycats and puppies. But all is good. Fudgy has come out of his surgery and he is good. He's got to go back and have his patch removed from his ankle. I believe it's just held there by the bandage and they'll just take it off, but it's a pretty heavy drug. I think it was fentanyl. It's a slow release fentanyl patch, so we've got to go back to the vet to have them remove it, then they safely dispose of it. I was reading the little blurb that come back with him, you know, when they give you a handout of what to do with your pet post-surgery. And there was a whole page dedicated to this patch, so it's nasty stuff. And if he was tempted to remove it himself, I can't touch it. I've got to pick it up with gloves and then take it back to them in a sealed bag so that they can dispose of it. So it's pretty nasty stuff. I've heard nasty stories about that particular drug. So he has a little slow release fentanyl patch bandaged to his back leg just to help with a bit of pain relief. But I must admit today he's looking really good. And that's good that he came for a little visit. He's just been lying in bed, sleeping, eating, not feeling like doing much. So that's great. It's made my day. There we go. I'm happy with that. I've just got a sprinkling of gold through there. You guys probably can't even see all that detail, but I'll bring it up. I think the last thing I want to do is just do my edge stitching. There we go. So it's just a little cluster of bits and bobs. So let's go back to this. Thread the needle. It's a milliner's needle and it doesn't have much of a hole. Well, it does, but it's very narrow. I need more of a round hole because this old crochet cotton is like nearly like a cable cordage. So I'm just now going to do as I did on the previous one and stitch around the outer edge just with a primitive, rough, rustic, like a little bear has stitched it. Okay, that's great. I love it. I love it. So that's 2 little hearts done. We have a bit of a plan for the next one. Well, we do at the moment. I'll come back to it. I'll percolate on it a little. See if I do want to continue down that path. I'd say I will. But we will see. As I said, I'll just come back to it, pop it up in the video sequence, and then we'll go again, and we've got our 3 little hearts. Some great hearts popping up. If you're not familiar with this whole Roxy Creations Journal of Stitchery project, we're on volume 4. If you go over to Facebook, you'll see a Facebook group under that name. Join in and just watch, because there is some beautiful work being posted. Well, it's all beautiful. It's, oh, so many ideas. So even if you're not participating, it's worth just having it pop up on your feed each day, because you're just seeing just some lovely, oh, I love that. I love how that just gives that nice, soft, ratty little edge to the heart. There we go. Lovely. Heart number 2. Where's Honey Bear's dress? No doubt it'll probably need a background. No, that one doesn't. See, they're pretty good. Oh, I love them. So we've got one more to go, and it's a little one. And the thought was to do a bit of a cluster. So what I might do is just get a neutral background onto it. So what can we use? Just grab some of the old tickings. What about, I really like this camphor quilt, but does it match our colour scheme? No, not really. I've got some of this fabric. It's, see, it doesn't really, like at a pinch it would. No, stick to the plan, girl. I'm thinking I'm going to use some of this. It's nice and textured. It's like an old placemat. Picked it up in an op shop. And I just love the fabric. So because I'm stingy and I don't want to waste a cent, don't want to waste a bit of it, I'm going to rough cut out the shape. You're probably thinking, why did she just cover what she already had in the way of a heart? If you've missed my first video, I sort of come to the decision that these blues were just different. I probably could have made it work, but I just didn't want to fight with, the colour scheme. I just wanted to be able to blend in with the fabrics I've chosen for this project. So let's get this background stitched down. Then we'll have a look at the time. And we might need to come back in another video because the hour is fast disappearing on me. Now what I might do is just do some invisible stitch through the center to hold the heart topper. So then it's going to sit properly. It's a bit shy on that other side, but it will work. Then I'm going to thread up this, so consistency. I could actually go and find that grey cotton that I used on the very first one. I'll keep it neutral because I think the flower thing in the center that I'm thinking of doing is going to really be overpowering of anything that would be on the edge, is my thought. So I will keep it neutral. So I'm just going to prepare, I guess, the base. So if you've got something better to do, like go and vacuum, clean some cupboards out, feel free to wander off and do some housework. But if you're in denial of all those tasks, like myself, you should see the carpet in this room. It is Thread City. Feel free to hang with me and just do some simple stitching. So I'm just going to do my classic overcast stitch, nice rough and ready and messy like. And that'll help hold this little morsel of fabric together. But feel free to go and do your housework if you want. Oh, the other day I attempted and succeeded in vacuuming the carpet in my craft room. And you can imagine, because I do so much work with fabric, there's threads everywhere. And my carpet is a dark grey. So they really show up. Makes it easy to clean, and it makes it easy to know when you should clean. Anyway, the vacuum cleaner, it's a Dyson that has a spinning head on it, which probably all vacuum cleaners have, but you know what I mean. They spin. Well, it wasn't spinning. And I was like, oh my goodness, what's wrong now? So I sat down with the head of the vacuum cleaner, turned it over, and it was absolutely chockers with threads to the point where it was no longer spinning. So I thought, right, we need an operation. I cleared the deck, got my surgical tools, scissors with a sharp point, and I sat there for like 10 minutes snipping threads out of the spinning thingy at the end of the vacuum cleaner head. And boy, it worked so well after doing that. Isn't that amazing? It spun beautifully. It picked up all the threads, didn't leave a heap behind. I wasn't going over and over the same spot going, well, why isn't this vacuuming? I just want to nip in there a little bit. I feel like I've softened my heart a little bit by not getting that shape. Okay, that's better. Like, I don't even mind this little heart. just that textured piece of... So anyway, finished the story. I then came back into my room and vacuumed and sucked up everything. And I must say the head of the vacuum cleaner is starting to be bound up again. So yeah, there you go. That was my vacuum cleaner story. Those little threads. We're forever buying vacuum cleaners for our shops because we have quite a big Christmas tree section. The bristle that the Christmas trees are made of is made of these little rectangular pieces of plastic that are all twisted into the wires to make the bristle. So it's like a broom, I guess. If you had one of those bristly brooms with they're quite a firm, prickly sort of fibre. Well, it's not a fibre, it's a plastic tube, ever so tiny, all stitched in to this wire to create the bristle on a Christmas tree. Well, that little element, so it's probably about the length of that piece of cotton, and then it's folded in half where it was once caught in wire holding it to the stem of the branch, and those branches go together to create bigger branches to create the Christmas tree. Well, that little green piece there, once that goes into a vacuum cleaner, it's like putting an open safety, not safety pin, well, nearly, paper clip. It's like getting a paper clip and breaking it open. So it's now this fairly tensiled product that now just jams into the vacuum cleaner. So then you go and add a bit of tinsel, bit of fabric, bit of fluff, a cotton ball, a pom-pom, all of the above that may be floating around on the shop floor, dust bunnies, random stuff. And then in amongst it, you got this high tensile V-shaped thing from a Christmas tree, and we're talking hundreds of them. So what happens then is the tube of the vacuum cleaner, the hose, gets all blocked up pretty quickly, pretty easily. And if the staff aren't familiar with vacuum cleaners and don't realise that they're trying to suck up stuff, then it's not really going up because there's a blockage building. It puts the motor of the vacuum cleaner under pressure. So if they don't clean it out regularly, like literally after every vacuum, they eventually burn the motor out on the vacuum cleaner. So we are constantly buying vacuum cleaners. It's like, guys, please clean out the hose. Oh, one young fella, bless his little cotton socks. He was vacuuming, it wasn't picking up. So once again, you've got to go, because we get new staff every year. We've got the familiars who come back every year, but then we get new ones, and they come with all sorts of levels of experience, especially the young ones. So we explained what was happening. Yep, that made sense. So we sent him off outside to the big bin to pull out this blockages that, you know, and he did a wonderful job, but he got to the metal part of the vacuum cleaner. So you got the spongy hose, then it starts straightening out into metal, which gives you that structure to hang on to. So he, oh, bless his cotton socks. So I don't know, what have I got here? I've got to demonstrate, you know me. So this is the tube, goes down to the head of the vacuum, and there's a blockage in here. So instead of getting this piece of wire that has a hook on it that can pull stuff out, he wasn't told about that. So he's thought, well, if I tap it on the edge of the big industrial bin, it might loosen and it'll fall out. So he is whacking this hose on the edge of the bin, and of course he starts dinting it to the point where it crimps it. So it's now got all these dents all the way along it, and the stuff's still stuck in there. So he comes back inside and he shows our manager what he's achieved. Oh, so we had to go and buy a brand new metal shaft. I don't know, what do they call it? The metal bit of your vacuum cleaner. Because he had pretty much turned a nice round hose into that in numerous spots. And he was like, I can't get it out. And we're like, well, you won't now, because you've crimped it to this. Oh, goodness me. So I find it amusing, but I've got a bit of a weird sense of humour. But my husband, who's very pragmatic about things and just can't understand how such things can happen, his face was priceless when the store manager said, can you get us a new tube? Anyway. All right, guys, I've got the base stitched on. Happy with that. I will leave it at that, and I'll come back in the next video, and we're going to work with this little element and create something in the center for the final little heart. So we're getting there. I don't know if you'll see the video tomorrow. Who knows? So we'll leave it at that, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye for now.